Hey, listen. You guys ready for some really dark freaking shit? Because I am the Dark Shadow Maverick. Welcome on my wonderful, beautiful girls, guys of the wonderful, beautiful Maverick Nation. On my wonderful, beautiful girls, guys of the wonderful, girl Maverick Nation. A deep, dark part of me can't contain myself. How absolutely off the walls this is gonna get. Here we got part one of what if Sans had the Carnage symbiote. Seeing as there seems to be no one in the what if community actually doing a like Undertale like symbiote what if, like not even like if Frisk or Chara had a symbiote. And while Sans is one of not like my favorite character in all of Undertale. Basically, all the Skella family, Sans, Gaster, Papyrus, they're all my faves. Though also Mettaton with its EX form and Neo form, but more EX than Neo. Because that bitchin' ass song. Okay, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. If I'm gonna do this, I gotta need something to help because my tongue has been sore for a while and it's not letting up. Basically, this is what if Sans had the Carnage symbiote? Why Carnage again? Why not another symbiote? Well, technically, even though it says like Carnage, the reason why it says Carnage and not like two names, even though technically it's going to be two symbiotes. Technically, it's more or less going to be more Carnage than the other symbiote. The other symbiote's still going to be there and still going to be a prominent role, but you know, not as much as Carnage. Plus, Carnage is my boy, so if I had to choose, it would obviously, without a split second thought, be Carnage. And also, I want to address. Basically, if you guys look at the thumbnail and thought it was weird, or, you know, cool but also weird, basically, I'm actually going to say something. The red and bluish Sanses, the red one, you know, looking like he's crying and all, being all upset. And the other one, well, being upside down, you can definitely tell he's smiling. Unlike the red one, which is not. Definitely not. Basically, I'm actually going to try to tell a story with this. More or less, the red one is obviously Carnage. Or, well, yeah, basically red one is basically Carnage. And the other one is Riot, actually. Because, well, seeing as it's, Riot, and, whenever they finally defeat him for the second time in a row, and defeating him, Riot actually started to think, like, there has to be some reason why this keeps on happening. And, eventually just got stumped until, like, Eureka! I figured out that it's because what I'm doing sucks. Basically, yeah. The bad guys aren't the ones who are supposed to win, so no wonder you were gonna lose, buddy. Because you'd be doing bad. So basically, Riot with his ways that he thinks is definitely not be considered a good guy. So he was like defeated twice in the series. So basically, after losing twice to these guys, like, entering some heavy deep thought with whatever was left of him, still inside Carnage. Basically, what I'm gonna say happened is, basically, the whole Genesis thing, why Harleen was seeing that, well, it's basically all because, well, oh boy, oh, this is a heavy hitter. The Genesis symbiote, yes, the Genesis one, this new one that I'm creating, the Genesis symbiote, is basically, well, like Bill was saying, the whole battle in between Absolute Carnage and, well, All Black created all that, rip and tear and, like, space-time. And, well, basically caused an accident to happen to where just whenever they were about to get back, something happened, and, well, basically, like, something in, like, space-time exploded and caused an accident to happen. Well, basically, like, all three of them survived, like, Carnage and Hikari and Harleen all survived. However, Harleen was affected, basically, seeing as she was near a symbiote being toxin. It was kind of like the TMNT, like, ooze thing. Like, the thing you're, like, most close to last. Seeing as, like, human plus human isn't really going to change anything. So, instead, chose a symbiote route, causing Harleen to become a symbiote. However, Harleen as a symbiote was so powerful because, more symbiotes go down the line. It's sort of like X-Men logic that her power literally glitched the already broken enough reality that they were stuck in. And, well, that basically caused the whole rip in space-time, basically. Now, Genesis was in... It's kind of like the Scarlet King trying to get into the reality of the SCP Foundation's version of Earth. It's kind of like that. he finally got the rip hole he needed to get into this world. Like, let's say it's like a Harleen and a Ikari and a Toxin from a different timeline, which is the reason why, like, Genesis even exists. The Genesis symbiote. And, you know, whatever happened, like, it all just ended up becoming a desolate wasteland. Desolate, barren wasteland. And, well, woo! Once he finally entered the other, like, dimension, because of the big rip hole, basically, the rip hole, like, literally ate Harleen's glitched out body whole. And the Genesis symbiote decided that it was going to eat the rip hole, so that it couldn't, like, be put, you know, back. And this only made the Genesis symbiote stronger. The Genesis symbiote basically having a field day with having a field day with Ikari and Toxin, to the point where they were actually able to rip out the Toxin symbiote and straight up murder it, exclaiming the Toxin symbiote to be its father, or at least the one from its dimension to be its father. And he knows how much his father hated him and did not want him to exist because of the possible threat. And it would just be like, look at me now. I am a threat. I'm the only threat. Basically, yeah, that's how that would be. And we'll just end up killing and eating the Toxin symbiote. Basically, leaving Hikari's body in shock because of how brutally beaten and just ripped straight from his body, no restraint at all, just ripped the Toxin symbiote straight out. And as soon as Ursa and Scorn actually get there, along with Miles, you know, they get their asses handed to them pretty damn bad. Basically, this is not sitting well. However, before, like, you know, Ursa and Miles can be straight up murdered, just like how, you know, basically, the point in which the Genesis symbiote ripped out Toxin was basically a point to where basically it's safe to say Ikari's never going to walk again. Yeah, it's that bad. The good old Stephen Hawking syndrome effed him up that bad. So he's just on the ground flopping like a fish as, like, the Genesis symbiote is about to kill both Ursa and Miles, and I already just kicked the shit out of Scorn, and the gadgets hooked up to the Scorn symbiote being the only thing keeping the Genesis symbiote from straight up ripping Scorn out. And the only reason how they're ever, like, saved is, well, let's just say a certain symbiote known as No, like, saw this and was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I say, no, hell no. Basically informed Izuku and you about the whole situation, what had already happened before No actually woke up and saw the scene of the crime and all that. And, well, basically just teleported, like, Izuku and you, and Izuku with the Carnage symbiote. Basically, yeah. Well, basically, the Genesis symbiote is not stupid. I mean, Null is even there. Yeah, the Genesis symbiote may be evil, but not stupid. So, basically, he just tried to GTFO as soon as possible. Straight from the scene. However, basically, you would use her, like, gigantification quirk to, like, smack, like, drive the Genesis symbiote into the pavement with her hand. Giant ass hand. However, basically, at the last second, the Genesis symbiote would stick its hand out, dig it into use, and basically create some sort of glitch thing. No one couldn't even tell what just happened. The Genesis symbiote wasn't going to say a peep. He just wanted to know that Izuku was going to suffer, and that's all. It didn't matter if it was going to live or die now. Izuku was going to suffer. The father of the one who was going to get rid of him for simply existing was going to suffer. And, well, the Genesis symbiote was just fine with that. And basically, you would pass out. And, well, Noah would do the best to get them back to their homes without, basically, but before doing any of that, kind of TKOing the hell out of Genesis, like, straight out of nowhere. Like, Genesis symbiote didn't actually think that Noah was actually going to do any fighting. The Genesis symbiote thought wrong. Just TKO out the hell out of nowhere. And basically, the first actual, results that come back of Yu's actual medical condition after that little, like, pew-pew attack that come out of, like, the Genesis symbiote's freaking hand into, like, her one. Oh, God. I'm a terrible person for doing this, but Jesus Christ. Basically, he wanted him to suffer, but he didn't exactly know what would be the best way. Like, what would be the best way? Like, automatic. Like, what type of illness? Then he thought, what's something that's long, drawn out, and causes a heavy amount of suffering? Oh, Starts with a C, ends with an R. And there's multiple different types that can actually be gotten. However, there are some types that have cures. Just has to find one that doesn't have a cure yet. Basically, it just injected you with automatic stage 4 cancer. And it's a type of cancer that doesn't have a cure yet. And won't have a cure for quite some time. And whenever Izuku hears this, and, not too long after, they're told this, since it's like stage 4 and like there's no cure, only like seconds after being told this, you basically flops on the doctor's bed, motionless and lifeless, and just dead. That's the only way to describe it, just dead. Yeah, basically, like, Genesis symbiote is not screwing around. You want Izuku to suffer? And oh boy, did he make him suffer. Now he lost 2 of his lady loves. And there was even like the whole thing about, with Attack the Symbiote being gone, basically his son is now in like complete total shock, but even beyond that, like to the point where they actually put him in a psychiatric ward for people that are absolutely beep boop, beep boop, beep boop in the mind. Yeah. So basically, people jump into accusations that because of the type of shock that he's experiencing, that he's gonna go insane at any second. And what do you know? Because of all this bottled up emotion, like Hikari's heart doesn't have enough support from this symbiote, and he's so used to having that, his heart cannot take it on its own, and it just gives out. And you guys know what happens whenever heart gives out. That person with that heart, they die. Yeah, so Izuku, you could definitely say that he's suffering. Wife dead, son dead, and almost lost his daughter and their symbiote. But after hearing about the fact that her mother and her little brother were like dead, and even her like little brother's symbiote also dead, ooh. Sad to say that, basically, Ursa became the closest thing that you could possibly picture as a symbiote stay-at-home wife as possible. She wanted nothing to do with any sort of hero job. She just wanted to be stay-at-home. Even if the whole symbiote thing made it weird. It didn't matter. She was too broken to do the stuff that she used to do. By everything that happened, it's a miracle that she ever talked to anyone. But she always knew she could confide in Miles. Miles was there. And basically, Izuku knowing that Genesis symbiote was punished, Carnage just being like, at least that monster's punished. Gave him a good one for all of us. Even the ones that are still alive, that are suffering because of the ones that they lost. And Izuku would just be like, you don't have to remind me, Carnage. In fact, Carnage. Yeah? He would stuff Carnage, who is right now really like the area in between like the neck and the shoulder. He was doing that thing. Izuku would basically shove him down so hard that he would pop straight in front of him, like torso and arms and all. And basically, what would be said is 100%. And Carnage would be like, what? What are you doing? Smash! And basically Izuku is in his bedroom. Basically, there would be a picture, like a picture frame, and Carnage would have just smashed straight into it, and just like bleeding through all the way down, and all the way down onto the bed, and then onto the floor, not knowing what the hell got into Izuku. That's before Carnage could even do anything. And that's when I realized Izuku was no longer there. From the sound of it, Izuku was in the bathroom. And from what it felt like, the door was locked. He must have locked it. However, Carnage could still see through the small openings. What he saw he didn't like. A loaded 44 came straight at his head. Bam! Blood everywhere. Brain matter everywhere. Normally, with any random host, this would be a smorgasbord for Carnage. But no, Izuku wasn't just a host to him. They were like freaking friends. They were like family. And he punched him out of him just so that he could allow himself to commit seppuku. Carnage, emitting a screech of agony and horror that could be heard all throughout the world. Every single last member of Team Symbiosis, their symbiotes and themselves, hearing this screech, and it told them everything. Izuku had gotten to his breaking point, so much so that he punched him outside of him, just so that he could be allowed himself to commit seppuku by literally shooting all the way into his head from a loaded 44, the safety off. And after everyone had been given the message, even Miss Yayorozu, considering Shoto's married to her, yeah, she would also have been one of the first to have been received the message. I mean, they're married, so why the hell not? Once everyone had received the message, and even got to their apartment to see if it was truly actually a thing. What they saw, they weren't even allowed to get in. even after saying that they were members of the Team Symbiosis. And one of the paramedics said, "You should already know your leader is dead." And that day, all the members of Team Symbiosis, they disbanded. They didn't have a leader anymore. At least no one like Izuku to be their leader. No one in the world is anything like Izuku. There wasn't a single other person in the world who was like Midoriya. And, well, basically, Noel would have been just awake enough to actually see this happen. And he would have tried to, be like the voice in Izuku's head, trying to broadcast a message, telling him, no, reconsider. I beg of you, Izuku, reconsider. But one of those pleadings would indeed be drowned out by the sound of the gun. And the sound of brain matter splattering everywhere along with blood. And that's whenever Noel finally decided, after seeing something they found particularly strange as hell. It seems deep inside of the DNA of his blood that was left. A specific spot that the people that came over there forgot to clean up. There was a single last strand of some sort of DNA. Not Izuku's, not Carnage's. A third member. Possibly their last dying breaths. Trying to regain their life. No, basically trying to get into a link with whatever brought upon the world this small speck of DNA. In the vision, he saw Riot. And, well, Riot didn't look as he had looked before. Usually he's either ridiculously angry or basically laughing and cackling off like a maniac. This Riot, however, is more calm than composed. However, for reasons that seemed unsure. However, it's almost as if Riot soon began to beckon, call over, almost like wanting to interact with something. And soon, Noel began to figure this out. Carnage. Interact with the gray strand of DNA. Carnage, not really wanting to go against Noel's, words. And not really feeling like much of anything right now. basically shown by in the thumbnail why it's all cry sounds, like it looks like he's crying. It's more or less like melting away, like all goopy because he's so depressed. And so Riot's more structured, like put together, and the other one, the red one, which is Carnage, is all goopy because he's not so put together. In fact, he is rather miserable without Izuku. He is brother. And, well, basically whenever Riot would be like, before you say anything, Carnage, about how indeed am I still alive or whatever, doesn't matter. Carnage would be like, what do you mean it doesn't matter? It doesn't matter because that's not what it's about now. I found out about a different realm, a different type of reality. They call it Undertale. The ones dubbed the player. There are multiple of them. An entire species of player. Each and every single player is like the god of their own game. Because they choose who lives and who dies. They choose who gets a happy ending and who falls into deep, depressing, dark misery. This land, Undertale, also it spawned off from the creative minds of these different players, and those they themselves had influenced from the outside world to create new things, to create these things called AUs. Not just any AU, an Undertale AU. So many different ones. If I were to name them all off, we'd be here for beyond forever. It's really quite fascinating. Love for this simple fantasy world they call Undertale. How they've expanded it so much more than probably intended by the original creator. However, these players, they have turned it into so much more. Not always in the best of ways, but they definitely have indeed improved upon certain things and made use of what they had to make even grander stories out of just the bare bones minimum that they were originally given. This kind of devotion, it intrigues me. I find it kind of like the reason why you and Izuku, why you fought me that day, first day of UA High. Why you fought against me. It's like that. And because of that, I have a proposition to make. Among these many players, they all know one specific entity. One very strange and mysterious one whenever it comes to what is and isn't known about them, but also quite not all that taken seriously when it comes to certain aspects of their character. Called Sans. Sans the Skeleton. Older brother of Papyrus. Riot, those are fonts. Well, it's the whole fault of the person who created the game, not mine. There is this random character that can disappear, reappear, whenever, whatever. Believed to be known as W.D. Gaster. Believed to be the father of the two Skelebros. I think maybe we can indeed do some good here. What do you think we roll the dice on a little game of reincarnation? Say, we throw this old dump heap of a world away, seeing as it's fallen so deep down the drain. I mean, why live in a world that is so wrong? Why not trade it for something that you can make so much better? Escape to the realm of Undertale with me, and I can show you just what you've been missing out on. Well, Izuku is gone. You is gone. Ikari and Toxin are gone. And Ursa and Scorn, they don't even live in the same country as us. But by doing this, we'd probably just be writing them out of existence. You're right. Maybe instead of resetting, we reload. True reload. What is true reload? Instead of true reset, where everything is expunged. Basically, no one remembers anything from the past times that you have done so many things in the world. Instead of that, true reload, well, gives that satisfactory answer. A true solution to the problem. We just copy-paste by using the true reload option. Use it to copy-paste certain aspects of this world so that the reincarnation process can begin without hurting this world any more than it already has been. Besides, I've heard that Ikari is due for release because they believe he's been fixed out of his insane stupor, which is really just a series of shock attacks that no 18-year-old's brain should actually be prepared for. Then you should be concerned. And they call themselves health professionals. Blah. Blah. You're all a bunch of bakas. Even more reason to come along with me. And by true reloading, we can copy paste pretty much whatever we want on to the world we'll be headed to. Well, in that case, can I make a couple suggestions? Sure. Shoot. I mean, I guess it would be nice to be knowing what we're getting into before we just throw ourselves, Dukes of Hazzard. That is one thing I will agree with you on, Riot. Would be stupid. And also on the fact that those health professionals are a bunch of bakas. I just wasn't exactly sure if you knew what that word meant. But apparently, due to your facial expression, I can tell you do. Though, how exactly are we supposed to work around getting hosts in this new realm of Undertale? Well, we could make it a lot easier by fusing. Well, I guess that could be one aspect that we would agree with. Really? I never knew it would be that easy. Well, I can see that it's genuine in you, Riot. You genuinely want to do good this time. Well, get your ass kicked enough times, and I guess you would need to change your tune as well. Guess you could say I saw sense. Finally, that is. Well, any other changes besides fusing with you? Members of Team Symbiosis. One of the many reasons how you can even become a member. Those reasons are going to be taken with us. That is something that will be copy-pasted. Oh, we copy-paste symbiotes. Other ones. You want them to be in the world as well. How sure are you that they'll actually know what's going on? It won't really matter. I mean, they'll still have the instinct to, try to find a host as soon as possible that's compatible with them, so that they don't die. This is indeed true. I wonder. Okay. I guess we could integrate ourselves in that way. It seems like the child, which seems to be the centerpiece of this all, they call themselves Frisk. They have just now completed a true pacifist run. They freed everyone, except for the one that, knew that they were basically stuck there. Even after that, they still came back. And eventually, true pacifist run was truly a true pacifist run. They actually were able to convince that flower to come with. Oh. So the story's already over? Actually, no. It seems the human, they want these monsters to live a happy life. They've even went as far as to completely reject the existence of the reset button altogether. Seeing as all that would do was just bring them back to square one. Falling down into the underground again, going through the same shit again. So they're pretty much dedicating themselves to making sure that they never, ever reset this perfect happy ending. Well, it doesn't exactly mean that because it's happy, it has to be an ending. Oh, I see what you're trying to do here. Bet. Who can pull it off better? Oh, challenge accepted, Riot. You too, Carnage. Now, let's go. We have 3 roads we can choose for ourselves. Seeing as we are basically the ones that are rocking the cradle on this. Pacifist, neutral, genocide. Well, obviously, we want to keep the happy ending. So, pacifist. You are surely the salt of the earth, Carnage. I mean, that was a pretty damn quick decision. But I agree with you. It's the entire reason that we're actually doing this. So, of course, pacifist. As much as I feel weird saying that. Oh, shit. Like, guys. What the? Huh? Oh, I'm just a puddle. Wait. I hear loud. What the hell? Riot? Did you purposely spawn into this world very far away from me just so I would have to slithering around everywhere just to find you? So we could fuse? Actually, no, this was not on purpose. It just happened out of nowhere. As much as it's hard to believe, let's do this. Carnage and Riot have now fused. Attack, non-applicable. Defense, non-applicable. HP, non-applicable. Level, non-applicable. Damn, we must be pretty fine if all of that stat isn't applicable. I think it's saying something down about us in the text box. This fusion should be an interesting one. Oh! Apparently, whoever's responsible for these little text boxes are a bunch of cheeky bastards. Yes, Carnage, I bet they are. Well, guess, wait, where the hell is everything? I guess that's something we're just gonna have to figure out for ourselves. God, we move slow in this state. It's like a big concrete jungle. We just don't get stepped on. Yeah, that would really suck. Wait, there's this... I can swear that it is not winter. Yeah, it does not feel cold at all. Well, then what is up with this one house and the Christmas tree decorations? Well, then again, you did say that there was one unusual character. It is their house. And they have a brother whose name is Iris. And would you say the unpredictable one was? Sans. Oh, Sans. I see. Who said my name? What the frick? Hi. Is that little talking Play-Doh? Talking Play-Doh? Riot? Let's try to not piss any of them off. We were just called talking Play-Doh. Carnage, can you believe that? I can believe that you sound like Marge Simpson on crack. Yes, I can. Okay, fine, I walked straight into that one. Why are you two fighting? This is awkward. I really do need to stop drinking all the ketchup right before I go to bed. Now, how does that even work? It's in the middle of the freaking day. It's one of my day naps. That shouldn't be a thing. Hello, Sans the Skeleton. Hello, weird gray thing. Carnage? Oh, right. Are we going for a round of good cop, bad cop? Whatever you want to make it. Okay, then. Listen here. Listen about what? God. Riot, you know what to do. Riot spike? Riot spike. Straight in the back of the skull. Straight in the back of my what? Okay, fine. Finally. Now, let's try to fuse completely this time. And then we enter this one. Because if, well, last several minutes taught us anything, this is pretty much, there's no way it can't be Sans the Skeleton. This one. Wow. Well then, let's see what there is to be found. Okay, let's go. Okay. Whoa, what the? Why do I look all goopy and skeleton-like? And am I upside down? Oh, that's much better. How the hell was I able to do that? I think we've turned into symbiote versions of the one we basically made our host. Oh, what? Oh, and there's the original. Hello there, welcome to your Mindscape. Your Mindscape? Literally, Carnage? Your Mindscape? So I take it your name is Carnage, and why do you look like me? Only, leaky and red. And you, seems like you're having a hard time with gravity. Screw you too. Now, Riot, please calm down. And, the goopy thing is indeed true. I don't know what's going on with me. It might just be something to do with our mental and emotional states before, we decided to fuse and then enter this world and then enter this guy. Huh? Your mental states? Well, mental and emotional. You see, I wasn't exactly in the best of moods before everything, so I guess it could indeed come to be expected that this would happen to a lot of me. Yeah, you're literally like a freaking weirdo mess of yourself. You're not even yourself. You look more like that Sans guy, and I look more like that Sans guy. Though, my center of gravity seems to be thrown out of whack. Maybe if I put my mind to it. Yes, that's much better. It's like I can completely control my center of gravity as long as I have something to focus on. Like an idea. The idea that you, sir, seeing as we're a part of the Mindscape now, your Mindscape, we know everything about you already. You're a lazy... Jeez, Riot, that's rude as hell. I mean, it's true, but rude. Good God. You just said it's true. Huh. uh, what does me being lazy have anything to do with this? In my mindscape, it looks pretty freaking empty besides you guys and me. Wow. I cannot believe just how much you just verbal chest yourself right there. Shut up, Carnage. I'm the one supposed to say that. Basically, I am Carnage. Or, seeing as how my appearance has changed, you call me Carnage Sans. And, seeing as the same thing has happened with my friend Riot here, you could call him Riot Sans. And we also seem to possess the same abilities as you, but even more considering our pasts. And even some abilities we've never actually experimented with before. If I'm reading myself right. You're right, Carnage. We have all sorts of shit. And seeing as this guy's supposed to be our host, looks like, Could indeed be a fun time. Tell us, Sans. Is there anything in particular that got you in a little bit of a bind? Why would I tell you anything? Either of you. I have no idea what the hell is going on. They never learn. Well, I guess it's just going to have to be done the old-fashioned way. Reading your mind. I see. Well, what the? Did you just read your mind? Yes, I literally just said that's what I was going to do. Jesus, you are so dense in the head. Wait. It seems that in order to do certain things more than once, like bring back the world from what's known as the genocide route, because, well, certain things, they ended up having to forfeit their soul. Or at least that's what was supposed to happen. Now it's a constant battle between Frisk and Tara for Frisk's soul determination. Let's see. Well, the best, easiest way to resolve this conflict is to knock the crazy out of Mrs. Steal Your Soul. Actually, fight the brat. I've tried that before, and I got killed. Just like how everyone else got killed before. Well, maybe that's because you didn't take any initiative. Ugh. Damn it. You guys are both pains in my ass, you know that? We're only trying to help. And if you're not going to do anything, then I guess we're just going to have to step in for you. What the hell do you mean? But seeing as you're very new to this whole goody two-shoes stuff, I'll let you be the one to take care of the one Sounds calls the brat. Oh, oh, you're too good to me, Carnage. Duke's a hazard indeed. Dirty brother killer. Dirty monster killer. Doesn't matter what you are. You're trying to take the soul of someone that a good friend holds so dear. I believe her name, Toriel? Former Queen of the Monsters? Caretaker of the Ruins? Former Caretaker of the Ruins. Yeah. It really must have messed with you whenever you figured out about that. Genocide runs seem to really be a bitch for you guys to handle. Even those that consider themselves undying fall before this kid. Oh, there'll be no more. I can assure you of that. Sans skeleton. Because I am Riot. I'm, in the driver's seat now. Or at least, whenever it finally comes time, whenever they're so close as to think they can actually take that soul. They'll be very surprised to see how much of a mistake that is. Well, from what I'm able to sense, I think that's about to be right now. Oh, really? Sans a skeleton, with all due respect. I can't just let that the same ending all the time. Plus, you know that if the kid dies, they'll just reset. That must indeed be what the other wants most of all. For them to break their promise to you and have it all go back to step one. How do you know all of this? It's called observation. Observing. Liking what I see. At least some of it. I just now got to telling Carnage about this place. This beautiful, wonderful world that you have here. It would be shame for it to go to waste. So, come on. You really gotta be that much of a pain in the ass to you? Do you really hate the kid that much? I mean, you'd also be blowing your promises away. Even though I can tell you don't like to keep them. Or more or less, you don't like to make promises because you know you can't keep them. If that's what you feel like. Someone who couldn't keep a promise worth jack shit. Even whenever you do, it ends up being at the worst time possible. AKA genocide runs. Judgment Hall. I can tell. The kid's pretty banged up. And the flower's still stuck in the pot. Not really letting it be free. Basically been one of the dumbest things it could have done. At least if it was free, it could actually help Frisk. Well, if you're not gonna do anything, then we will. Huh? Because we, as of now, are both Carnage, Sans, and, as of now, Riot. Well, what the? What the? What the? I just almost had it. I was so close getting rid of you. Taking back what's mine. The determination isn't yours. So why understand. Comedian? No. Something's different about you. What the hell did you do? Think it's just him in there? Oh no. It's much more. Allow us to show you. We are Riot! Boom! How the hell can I not see them move? It's not teleportation, but the hell? If it's not teleportation, then what the hell? Pathetic. How did you get behind you? Easy. You suck at this game. Ah! What the hell is this shit? Can't. Can't move, can ya? Sure sucks to be you. Dirty brother killer. What? Now, it's time we end this. Let's call it a riot blaster. Huh? Double! And now... and for good measure... it'll be a triple. 1, 2, 3. Be gone. Thoughts. Whoa. You're amazed by the powerful display that Sans has put on. But about some of the things that he said, almost seems like it's not Sans, but it is. This perplexes you. Very much so. Very oddly so. This oddly perplexed feeling, it doesn't feel good. Not at all. You wish to talk to Sans. Give me a minute, kiddo. You just give me back control. Ah, brother! The Great Papyrus wishes to know what you're talking about whenever you say he. There is no one else here but the Great Papyrus, the human, and you. Oh, and Tori is also here. What? Toriel? God, no. What's wrong, Sans? You wish to know what's wrong with Sans. Hey, bonehead! Back in your subconscious. The mind skip again. And you kind of blanked out after you said, oh god, no. Searching through your memories, I can tell why. You You dumbass, you proposed to her. Didn't you? Well, I kinda half-assed it. Can't do. Like, do a redo or something. Half-assing it will never do. I can't exactly do that. A hopeless wreck of a host. Half-assing the proposal. Better not half-ass the wedding or the reception. Calm down, Carnage. Calm down. Besides, we already have a victory under our belt. No, you two wacko wazoos have a victory under your belt. And just to make sure you don't screw anything else up, Sans the Skeleton, I will be in charge of your next interaction with Toriel. What? No. Please, God, no. You really think there's a god to save you in here? No, just you, Riot, and myself. And, well, out of the three of us, do you really think you're going to be able to beat either of us in a fight? Is that a trick question? Of course I know I can't beat you in a fight. That's exactly why you shouldn't even bother trying to argue about the whole Toriel thing. If anything, we're trying to help you. Riot help you keep your promise about the whole kid, and I'm going to help you bring yourself back up from the bottomless pit of failure, which was your proposal. As half-assed as it truly was, I'm not surprised that she didn't reject you completely. Damn, man, that's harsh. No, it's the truth. There's a difference. Just know this. The moment you see that Toriel is the moment I gain control. Is that understood? Oh, so I don't have a lot longer till I get control. Just like you said, you couldn't win a fight against us. So, what's the point in trying to fight for control? You admitted, both of us, you could never win a fight against, so basically admitted that, well, I mean, it's almost like you're trying to make us look like the bad guys, whenever all we're trying to do this for is to help you. Because, well, I mean, we're symbiotes, and you're the host. I mean, that is indeed how the relationship works. It's a give and take. Okay, then. I just have to wonder how long it's going to be until she gets here. Oh, good God. Can I not just go to Grilby's? You are not staying there all the way until she gets bored and has to leave or some shit. I'm not letting you do that. Damn it, you guys can read my freaking mind. Well, at least one of you helped by saving the kid. No, I gave you the power to save the kid. You gave me the power to save Frisk. We bonded completely in that moment. Oh, shit. Just whatever you do, please don't try to make it awkward or anything. Just so you know, I am Carnage, and that one over there is Riot. If you wish to be addressed with respect, do the same for us. Only be asked as the minimal of what is expected of a relationship such as this. Okay, Carnage, just please try not to mess this up. It's the exact opposite of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you. Good God. All your head is just a freaking skull. How is it so hard to get you to understand things? Honestly, with all the room in there, you'd probably be able to soak up information pretty damn good. Unless you would think so. I don't think that's it. I think he's just being stubborn. All because he's scared of his own crush. That's adorable. But, Riot, why are you laughing? If you're supposed to be helping me, then why are you laughing? What, we can't have any fun? Man, your mindscape is... I already knew your mindscape was dull, but this... If we can't even have any fun, then... Wow, you're just being a piece of work, aren't you, Sansy? Well, looks like it's time. What? She's already here? Me. Don't be such a sourpuss. Besides, I'm going to be good with the ladies. Himako Toga and Yu Takayama be damned. And those people are... It doesn't matter. That's not part of your life, so it shouldn't matter to you. However, with the symbiosis, that's a whole different story altogether. So we do a 3, a 2, and a 1. Now, suit up. Oh, but Sans, you look... Oh, God. Carnage, you really have to make me look identical to how you look inside my mind. It's kind of a tricky thing. Despite how, much of a black void your mindscape is, it's kind of tricky to navigate our powers around it. Toriel, I can assure you, I'm perfectly fine. Well, if you say so. Well, I guess now we can go. Guys, can I ask you something? In my head here for a second. Yeah? What? Shortcuts. Are they allowed now or something, or do you break all that? I assure you, as long as it's nothing that's going to ruin your chances, it is allowed. Remember? Helping, not hurting. Okay, if you say so. Tori, you want to do a shortcut? Uh, okay, Sans. That shortcut would be okay. Why did you let him do that, Carnage? Well, do you really want to listen to more of his complaining? Who knew that it wasn't just humans that were such fickle creatures? Also, it was monsters as well. Maybe that's just what love does to you sometimes. Well, I guess that was true in the case of Himiko before she was murdered. Definitely the case with Himiko. Izuku was a damn near mess whenever she was around. Considering they were attending the same school, and that was a lot. Okay. Well, then, what do we do now? Well, I guess we look some shit up. Oh, you mean figuring out about more of this so that we're not just looking like absolute idiots. Yeah, Riot. Oh, then, you should have asked. I'm sure we can find something in the midst of all this dark nothingness. You do realize how contradictory that statement of yours was right then. Right there. Carnage, really? You're gonna do this to me? Considering just how well the date is currently going. Well, actually, not doing that bad. I think he might have just been listening to me. Which, considering how stubborn he was before, you know, looks like I have found something. It's a piece of paper and a flower. A piece of paper and a flower? It says that this flower is apparently an echo flower. And that we can apparently learn from these things. Alright. Let's take a good listen. So, kill some time, I mean. That seems to be the only thing that we can do currently. So, time, we indeed have to kill. And that, I believe, will indeed be the end for part 1 of What If. Sans had the Carnage. I'm gonna say actually the Carnage and the Riot symbiote. Maybe, maybe not. I will only know whenever it gets to it. So as of now, still working titles in my head. The one good thing about this is, once you have a title, you never have to think of titles again. Except for, what I've been doing more recent videos, giving titles to parts. But hey, I mean, if you're not going to clickbait, at least, title bait. Title bait. That's an actual thing. Anyways, I don't see how it does this because actually remember to get LUT out of here. Like, favorite, and subscribe. Click that little bell. And I'm bounce like it's Quidditch. Yeet, 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 and all the yeets. And misdirection.